Welcome back. So this is pretty much gonna be everything that you guys missed out in the Honkai Star Rail version 4.0 summary. And frankly speaking, there is a lot of things with probably one of the biggest patch in the history of HSR. Also, at this point, huge shout out to my editor for chasing on my ass non-stop, despite the fact that we're gonna be cooking up 11 different videos for the early access coming up in less than 48 hours. In fact, as a matter of fact, we are gonna be doing CN pony opinions as well. Yeah, we're gonna be doing CN pony opinions, so super ultra overworking. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into everything that you guys missed. And the first of which, going over to the highlights page, we do have ourselves Yao Guang, a support character capable of triggering additional aha instants. You can make all allies do elation damage and have multiple ways to gain punch life, and the skill can increase the elation for all allies. Okay, at this point on the video, if you're wondering to yourself, what the is elation damage? What is aha instance? What is punch life? Right? We are cooking up a dedicated elation guide, which is gonna be released this Sunday. So for now, don't even worry about it. If I can summarize Yao Guang's kit right now, she reminds me very similarly to, okay, imagine a mixture of like Tribi and Fuke, but her role is gonna be for elation. So I can really see a future where, like, if you're gonna be running a elation DPS, Yao Guang is almost definitively going to be an upgrade for said elation DPS, right? So that's kind of the summary.
Hey there, Galactic Baseballer! Welcome to the stream!
Okay,
I'm your good friend,
okay, I'll let Sparkle yap a little bit.
Are you ready for a day overflowing with dopamine? The world is full of sparkle, so don't forget to shine brightly, just like Sparxie!
Yippee! Okay, anyway, the next unit is gonna be Sparxie, which is a DPS capable of generating massive amounts of punch lines, boosting your entire team's crit damage, and also increasing elation damage by spamming or consuming skill points. And yes, she will consume a generational amount of skill points, and it just so happens that a specific unit also received a massive buff, which gives you a ridiculous amount of skill points, which also means Mr. Sunday might not see the light of day for a while. But that's pretty much going to be Sparxie. So between both of these units, this is going to be your support, this is going to be your DPS, but there's definitely going to be way more elation units coming out in the future. So that is that. For the Lycons, very nice art. Very nice art. Bleh. Bleh. Apparently this thing's name is Goo Gaga. They literally call this a Goo Gaga on the stream. So I have no idea what that is going to be. And then this is going to be today's good luck. Fusion is looking very angry. That's very nice. Yo, Lulu, thank you so much for the biddies. Unfortunately, my TDS is turned off. Events and gameplay to kind of summarize everything. We are gonna be getting a free 5-star selector all the way lasting from version 4.0 to 4.2. And that will include the just buffed Sparkle. Alongside with Aggron, Jingliu, all the, okay, respectfully, if you want to see what should your option be right here, I can kindly divert your attention to this right here, right? If you are wondering what is gonna be your option, hop on over here. It's a little bit like a roadmap to see which is gonna be the better option. In summary, most players will probably end up picking Sparkle. It is with no coincidence that they buff Sparkle and they give out a selector for the free Sparkle. So if you are gonna be running on them skill point, right? If you wanna pull Sparxie, all that kind of stuff, this is pretty much one of the most safe options. If you're gonna be a DOT main, you could consider getting up Kafka, because we are gonna be getting a lot of DOT banners on top of Black Swan getting the Reaper, right? So that's gonna be that. Also, besides that, we also have a free Run Mace skin. Okay, this picture does not do it justice, so this is a close-up of the free Run Mace skin. Splash art-wise, it looks really good. Unfortunately, in-game model, it doesn't really appear to be that big of a difference. Minor change. They made it a lot more revealing though. So if you like the angles and like the big stuff, I think this is gonna be right up your alley. Aside from that, we also have the double gift of Arcadia, gift of Odyssey, and the flip of Fortune. Between these three events, grand total, you are guaranteed 30 limited boosts, right? These are 10 boosts, 10 boosts, 10 boosts. For the flip of Fortune, which is gonna be this event right here. Okay, you guys can't see the event, but essentially, there's a chance for you to get a 100 limited summons at 0.01%. It is like Yao Guang giving you Angbao, right? It's like Chinese rate packets, and there's a 0.01% of you getting 100 limited summons. So very nice. Other than that, we also have like resins. We have the anomaly arbitration tokens you can use to buy the brand new cosmetics they're gonna be adding to the shop itself, right? Oh, this all right, this one, right? So this is the flip of Fortune, with a 0.01% chance to gain 100 special buffs. W. Very alright. And if you're gonna be a new player, you could theoretically reroll a billion accounts until you hit this. I'm not sure who is going to be doing that, but you theoretically could do that, right? So, but I don't know. Alright, Comic-Con, okay, these are all going to be the events, right? So, this is essentially our first ever Honkai Star Rail TCG event. Yep, TCG is going to be here in HSR. So, there's going to be like different players. There are like hologram cards. There's like cool cards, alright? Basically TCG. So if you play Genshin Impact TCG, it is something very, very similar. So that's going to be that. Another event is going to be puzzles. And yes, you can jump. HSR, after 3 years, has finally added the jump button in a goddamn minigame. So you can play as a raccoon. There's a platformer. You can jump around. Very, very nice. And then we have a massive currency war update where they're going to be adding Yao Guang, Dahlia, as well as Sparxie on top of this brand new expert advisor mechanic where it's basically going to be QQ Gallagher as well as Ting Yun, bringing fresh gameplay experience. You can't buy them from the shop normally until you fulfill certain conditions. And then they also bought a lot, massive numbers of bonds and characters getting a buff, right? Strengthened. So Currency War is going to be getting a huge update coming out in version 4, which I would say, if you're going to be a currency war main, then this is going to be an absolutely insane number of patch, right? And then on top of that, there's like gameplay environment, right? Strategies, investment strategies, opponent, blah, blah, blah. So looking forward to the currency war update, right? This is going to be more so for the casuals who have not completed Divergent Universe update because this Divergent Universe is going to be ending, right? We have said goodbye to Envoyers. We have said goodbye to Cyrene. So DU is about to close. So before DU close, they are adding this thing called the Double Synchronicity Point event. So at this current point, which means that for those players who did not max out DU, which is reach Challenger, and you didn't claim all the rewards, you can get this inside mode, or rather the double point event, and you will clear your points faster. So you can still clear DU before this thing goes away, and we finally say farewell to Envoyers, right? Very, very good. Very, very nice. So at the end of version 4.0, this reward will be reset. So the rewards that you have not claimed will become unclaimable. So really try to at least grind this out before this thing goes away, right? Very, very good. Okay, this one is gonna be the Eagle 4-piece farming event, as well as the, I don't even know why they're using Space Station. Makes no sense. But more photo, more EXP, which is gonna be very, very nice. Okay, this particular thing, very important. The banners for version 4, it will last, or at least for Yao Guang, it will last the entire version 4. So you can see over here, this is gonna last all the way to the 24th of March. But notice how this thing ends on the 24th of March, right? It is also gonna be the same as Sparxie. So Sparxie's banner date is only on the second half, but she will come out and end at the same time with Yao Guang. The thing is, when this banner ends, it will introduce 4.1. But the devs have mentioned, right? The devs has mentioned that the banner duration for 4.1, it will be shortened to fit 4.2 on the normal anniversary date. And Honkai Star Rail's anniversary for all you fucking casuals out there is gonna be the 26th of April. Where is it, 26th?
The greatest Honkai Star Rail tourist that has ever lived.
And there it is. Right, 26th of April. I know my days, right? They do call me Mr. HSR. They do call me Mr. HSR. So we are gonna be getting our anniversary patch around that ballpark, which means that version 4.1 is gonna be a much shorter patch. Wait, they tweeted about it. Yeah, this news right here. So version 4.1, the duration, instead of lasting 6 weeks, it will only be for 4 weeks. Which I guess it makes sense because they had the additional 2-week expansion from Aglea Sunday. Then now they shrink this by 2 weeks so that the anniversary patch can still come on 4.2. So whatever their unit is going to be in 4.1, I don't really know how that is going to work out. Looking forward to see what is going to be coming though. So that is going to be that. Other than that, the banner units for the raid up is going to be double elation. But the rerun banners are very, very interesting. So we are getting full on a DOT rerun with Evernight. This is just DOT flagship with the Evernight. So this is most likely gonna be for the Amphorius, not the Infinite, sorry, the Remembrance flagship base from version 3. You guys missed Evernight for whatever reason, right? And you wanted to play the Elation flagship, or God forbid you skip Casterus. and you got Cyrene and Highest, and you're wondering, oh my god, bro, should I even pull Casters when there's Evernight? Well, we're not, because now Evernight is actually going to be getting a rerun right now. So if you want to get this to round up your Remembrance flagship, feel free. If you want to round up your DOT flagship, feel free. And then for the second half, yep, Reba is actually getting a rerun, which is actually insane because this is the first ever Reba rerun in the history of Honkai Star Rail. Ever since her launch, she has never, ever gone on rerun. Which I would say, if you have missed this Reba banner, right, there's a very good chance she might not show up for a super long time. So if you're a Reba lover, right, if you love playing Super Rig and you want to try Reba, this might be one of your final pass, right? Sparkle Riva, I'm not sure who is going to be picking this, since most players, I'm assuming, will be picking it up from the selector, unless you want to chase for the E1 or E2, which I think is like completely unnecessary. And then Sarija is mainly, okay, you know what's crazy, chat? If Bob didn't pull for Sunday, I would have just put Sarija, bro. I would have just fucking put Sarija, and I can run Sarija with my Anexa. But it is what it is, right? So we're just gonna be moving on right now, and that is gonna be the Plan Arcadia map, which is gonna be a huge addition. A lot of them. Yep, you can jump, right? There's the double jump from the mini game. There is gonna be another mini game. Chat said this reminds them of FEZ, which I've never played in my entire life. Then this is gonna be the office management event where you can basically, yeah, that's Sparxie, looking really nice. And then this is going to be a the TCG event, right? This is gonna be a TCG event. They have also explicitly mentioned, I guess, okay, the story don't have to worry about too much, but they mentioned that version 4 will last the entire year. But Plan Arcadia does not last the entire year. We are actually leaving Plan Arcadia early because there is a second location we're going to be going, and that is the domain of the IPC's Vacation Resort Island, whatever it's going to be, right? It is where the IPC people go ahead and take their vacation. So what will most likely happen is that will happen on the second half of version 4, and we will probably be getting introductions to characters such as Pearl, Opal, maybe even Diamond. Is Jade gonna be meta? Because they show Jade towards the end, right? Who is Vita? Alright guys, alright, so just be prepared a little bit that it's not like Amphorius, where the version will last for the entire year, right? We are actually leaving Planet Arcadia to go on to another planet. So I'm not sure when, but most likely probably in the middle, right? So that's gonna be that. And then for others, we have the, okay, so Sparkle got a buff over here. Skill point recovered by the ultimate form to 6 skill points, and you can overflow, and you regenerate energy. And the best part that they didn't even say is that the buff for Sparkle lasts 2 turns on the live stream. So now there will be no such thing as your units lose their buff when you pair up with Sparkle, which I think is like a crazy good change, because previously your buff only lasts for 1.99 turns, right? It will go away at the start of your next turn. So now it actually lasts the full 2 turns. So that will be extremely nice when it comes to stacking on your damage, right? Black Swan. Okay, for my 5 DOT mains, she deals more damage, and your Arcana can exceed the limit, and you do more damage. Exceptional. A powerful new enemy. So this is pretty much gonna be our next MOC boss, most likely, or the story boss. Is she gonna appear in Anomaly Arbitration? I have no idea, you know what I'm saying? But that's very cute, very nice. And yeah, you are gonna be transferred into an alternative domain. So you will have 2 different domains at the same time while you're doing the same fight. So very interesting concept. New bundle for the whales. If you guys want to have the emote, if you want to spend money to have this additional loading emote in your storytelling immersion, new bundle. Crazy. New in store. So this is gonna be essentially our Anomaly Arbitration shop, as well as the Gift of Stardust, which will be all of the endgame content shop. You'll buy more cosmetics, more skins, more materials, whatever it's gonna be, right? Okay, this one is gonna be your double relics. You are gonna be having a new 4-piece for 2 sets, so it always happens every single version. This one is probably for Sparkle, right? It literally just looks for a streamer, and this is probably for Yao Guang, right? One for Yao Guang, one for Sparkle. Makes a lot of sense. And then for the Elation materials for the tracers, you can do a 1-to-1 conversion. 1-to-1 conversion for your old tracers. But it appears that you have a limited amount. You can exchange for a limited amount. So it is not like full on 1-1, right? You can't clear like your entire set. So still do not pre-farm, But if you have any access from last time, you can do a 1-to-1 conversion. So that is gonna be that. Okay. This changes everything, bro. HSR can actually see the substat on the +3, right? No longer will you ever waste that +3 EXP to scout for that final subset. Which I think out of this entire live stream, this is probably the best update as a HSR elitist, tourist, free-to-play, whatever it's gonna be. So very, very, very good update over here. Thank you, Genshin Impact. Thank you, Genshin Impact and Divergent. This is gonna be, they basically changed this from like, you claim this every 20 hours. And they make it like a factory, right? They make it like Enfield, where you will just go and obtain whatever is available right now, just like in your outposts, and then you can just go back and leave it be, right? And you can hit a certain amount and can claim at any point rank, which I think is a pretty nice update. And I think that pretty much wraps up our entire version 4.0 live stream summary. TLDR, if you want to see a little bit more details, you can check out this tweet myself over here, which I think I did a very decent summary. Looking forward to the patch on 13th of February. I overworked for the early access. Word of the day is going to be Holy Anonymous. Thank you so much for the tip. Which like one is for Sparkle? Blah, blah, blah. I'm still using DDD on Tribi. Why not both? Okay, Sunday Signature is actually really good though. I will actually run Sunday Signature on Sparkle. So that's gonna be that, right? Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, use code POKE for 10% off gamer subs. All the best, see you guys next time. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing.